We always say Bella is a teacher, and God uses her to teach us what love is all about.
The chapter I'm referring to is she's sick, and you say, as I'm sitting here right now, it's early morning, I'm writing this chapter right now, and Bella is laying next to me, and she's got a cold, and it's difficult for her to breathe. So every few minutes I have to rub her belly to kind of stimulate the breathing.
Yeah.
I'm letting Karen sleep because she didn't sleep the night before because she was dealing with Bella all night. And that scene of you literally typing at the keyboard and reaching down and rubbing Bella's baby, like real time, it just makes it real. It was an amazing little part. And I said, man, this is the real Rick Santorum right here.
Well, okay. So if you read the book, you learn the real Rick Santorum and warts and all, because there's a lot of warts there too. I tell the story that when she was born, I talked about my son Gabriel and what we went through and how it was a devastating thing for me to go through that. And then we got the diagnosis from the doctor that she had this fatal disease, Trisomy 18, fatal condition, not a disease. And in fact, they sent us home after 10 days. We thought, oh, is she going to die? Is she going to die? But she didn't. And so they sent her home on hospice care.
Yes.
And saying, she's going to catch a cold and she's going to die. That's basically what they said. And there's nothing you can do about it. All you can do is comfort her. And so they sent us home with hospice care and a prescription for morphine that we were to give to her if she was struggling and she couldn't breathe, that you would just give her a load so it would calm her down. Well, obviously it calms her down, but it depresses the respiratory function.
Yeah.
And so we didn't know that. I mean, we didn't think through that. At least I didn't. Maybe Karen did, but I didn't. And so she ended up going to a well baby visit with our pediatrician. And so he's examining her, and this was maybe a few weeks later, and he says, are there any prescriptions? And he said, the only thing they sent us home with this. And he looks at it and he goes like this, and he sort of rocks back and says, ooh. And anyway, I said, well, what do you mean, ooh? He said, this is not going to treat it. This will kill her.
Wow.
And so at her weight, I said, okay, we're ending hospice. We're not dealing with these people anymore because they hospice people take care of old people who are dying,
right,
or sick people who are fatal, cancer and things. They don't take care of
babies,
infants.
Yeah.
And so we ended that, and Karen was committed, to Mama Bear. That's the other. She's the patron saint of Mama Bears. Yeah. She was fighting for her. I looked at it differently.
Yeah.
I looked at it as, I'm the atmosphere.
Yes.
So the atmosphere is, I've got this whole family. I can't just focus on my daughter. I mean, yeah, she's the center right now, but I got to think about how am I going to make all this hold together? And so I was told by everybody that she was going to die, and there was really nothing we could do about it. So that's how I looked at it. Okay, my daughter's going to die. Now I've got to manage everything else. My wife, the heck with managing anything. I'm going to save my daughter.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was,
statistics be damned. Yeah.
Didn't matter.
Very irrelevant.
She was all in.
Yeah. Yeah.
All in. I was not.
You were not. You can tell the crib story.
That's probably the best example of it.
Yeah. This is amazing.
It's not amazing.
Well, your daughter's amazing. Go ahead. I'll let you do it.
No, you just read it. You probably tell it better than I do. So go ahead, tell the story.
No, well, I think you were getting you were building the mattress. You were building the crib, and you got the mattress, right?
Okay, so she's tiny. She only weighed like 3 pounds something when she was born, and so we she's in a bassinet and everything, and so Karen, unbeknownst to me, orders a crib. A big crib.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, why are you wearing a big crib? She's still tiny. She's not gonna use this crib. Why are you spending money on a crib? Yeah. And a nice crib, I might add.
Yeah.
And so I'll be honest, I'm not happy,
Right.
right? Because I'm trying to manage things here.
Right.
I'm trying to manage finances because this was not cheap,
Yeah.
right? And I'm dealing with all this stuff, and so the crib comes, and my daughter Elizabeth, and I,
your oldest daughter.
my oldest daughter, she's at that time she was probably 16, 17, something like that, and maybe 17. That's what she'd have been. And so we start opening the crib, and I've got a knife and cutting the thing, and she starts tearing the box open, and I look over at her. I said, "Don't do that." She goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "We're going to have to put that crib back in this box."
Yeah.
And she flipped.
Yeah.
She goes, "You don't love her. You don't believe in her." And it just, boom.
Yeah.
Right? And I said, "Well, yeah, I do, but I mean, just got to be practical." Right? And that's what I was. And it hit me, but it didn't change me.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how committed I was to managing. Right?
Yeah.
Fast forward a couple months later, she's now 5 months old, and she gets a cold, plain old cold.
Yeah.
And she does exactly what they said she was going to do. She's having trouble breathing. She's having trouble dealing with it, and her oxygen saturation. We get one of these little things to monitor her finger, and it starts to go below 90, which is really trouble. And at some point, she just stops breathing.
Mm.
So Karen, being a NICU nurse, was able to do CPR on her. I call 911, and so we rush her to the hospital, and I'm thinking, this is it, right? And I remember standing outside. We're standing outside, and all of a sudden I'm seeing her. They're all over working on her, putting tubes in her, doing everything. And I walked into the NICU, and I had her arm on a board stretched straight out from her side, because that's where they had the IV, and her little tiny hand. And so I went over there and put my pinky in her hand so she could hold it. And I just realized that she was going to die, or very likely could die. And I was going to hurt that as much as I had detached myself, that I looked at her and I said a prayer. I said, "Lord, you pull this little girl through, and I promise I'm all in."
Mm-hmm.
I realized that it wasn't going to hurt less not to love her. It was going to hurt just as bad. And I was going to miss giving her what she deserved. And so she made it through, and I was all in. And tell a little story. I got back out, and my daughter, Sarah, who at the time was, I think, 11 or 12, and 10. She was 10, and she called, and because when Bella had the arrest and she stopped breathing, I put her on the bed, and I said, I'm trying to talk her into breathing. I said, "Come on, you can breathe." And like Karen busts in, knocks me over, and starts with the CPR, and I go and call it 911. And so Sarah Maria calls me, and she goes, "How's Bella?" I said, "I think she's going to be okay. She's stable." She goes, "Mom was amazing." And I said, "Yeah, she really is, isn't she? And Dad, you didn't do anything."
I know. That's awesome. I knew that was coming somehow. I just knew that was coming. You didn't do anything.
That's also the way it usually is.
Oh man, from the mouth of babes, you know what I mean?
From the mouth of babes.
Oh gosh. Hey, thanks guys for checking out the Conor Gallagher Show. Please
take a moment to like, subscribe, or comment, or whatever you got to do to support it. And I appreciate that very much.